Hello, I'm Meredith, and this is my family tree from what I can fill in at this point. I'm originally from Gainesville, Georgia, which is where my dad is originally from. My mom is also from Georgia in Lawrenceville, and they both earned graduate degrees. My mom became a teacher, my dad was a radio broadcaster. And we'll start with my mom's side of the family because I have the most information about it. My grandparents were very much into genealogy, so I have a lot of records because of all of the work that they have done, which is really nice. Um, they both graduated from high school, and they both had some courses after high school. My grandmother had some business courses. She became a deputy tax commissioner. My grandfather was in the Army Air Corps in World War II, and after that he took some courses to learn how to repair TVs and radios, and he did that for a while, and then he joined the U.S. Postal Service. Now, I've learned that most of my family on this side comes from either Walton County, Gwinnett County, Barrow County, or Newton County. And if we go way far back, I believe it's my great, 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 great grandfather, Frederick Thompson. He's originally from Virginia and fought in the Revolutionary War. And so at some point after him, his ancestors eventually made it down to Georgia, which is how that side of the family came to settle in Georgia. And something cool that I learned about Frederick Thompson, I knew that he fought in the Revolutionary War, but I learned his father was from Scotland, which I had never heard before. So my mom told me that most of the family on that side, on my grandmother and grandfather's side over here, mostly they were farmers, and the wives were homemakers. However, my grandfather's parents were a little bit different. My great-grandmother did go to college. My mom thinks she eventually earned her master's and became a teacher. And my great-grandfather was a merchant. He owned a grocery store in Gwinnett County. And for my dad's side, we have more information on his dad's family than on his mom's family. My dad passed away about 10 years ago, so unfortunately I cannot ask him these questions if he knows the answers or not. My mom told me that my grandmother didn't really like to talk about her family a whole lot. We think that perhaps she was mostly raised by her mother and grandmother. So my mom wasn't sure about her father's name even because she never really wanted to talk about her family a whole lot. But my grandmother had some college and she was a homemaker. My grandfather also had some college and he owned a feed store. His dad was Barney Parks, and he owned some farmland and some rental properties, and he owned a grocery store also. And beyond that, we're not totally sure, but my mom thinks that, again, like the other side of the family, probably mostly farmers. One interesting fact is that I believe it's my great, 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 great grandfather, Benjamin Parks, from that side of the family. He is the one who is credited with finding gold in Dahlonega. So on both sides of my family, there are deep roots. They've been in Georgia for a long time. But through this, I have found that some of my ancestors can be traced back to France, to Germany, to Scotland, to England, and to Switzerland. And the only one I had ever really heard before on my mom's side of the family was England, And on my dad's side of the family, he told me that with my grandmother, somewhere in her lineage, people came over from Spain, but I can't remember exactly where, how far back that was. But it's just been really cool to see, like, oh my gosh, I have ancestors from all these different places. So I am so glad that we did this assignment. Thanks.